A few years ago, I felt completely lost in life, with no clear direction about where I wanted to go and feeling unfulfilled in my job, feeling like I wasn't reaching my potential at all. Now, just a few short years later, and I've been able to build online business, generated over 7 figures in e-commerce revenue, and now I live a lifestyle like a digital nomad and living in places like this alongside a cliff in Madeira here. And I'm going to go through the journey with you today in today's video to explain the biggest lessons that I've learned along the way and going through all of the thoughts, feelings, emotions from the lows all the way to the highs of being able to achieve my goals. So I'll start this story a few years ago when I was about 18 years old, and I like to call this phase of my life the lost years. That's because I felt completely lost and directionless with where I was going to go with my life. And at the time, I think we go through the education system all the way up to 18, finish sixth form college, and then you get spat out of sixth form college, and you are then put on the spot about what you want to do with the rest of your life. And you have to kind of make decisions about what job you're going to do and how you're going to spend your time. But I remember at that time I actively wanted to not be asked that question by people about what I was going to do because I didn't know, and I felt under pressure every time you get asked that question. So perhaps you can resonate, even if you're not 18 or if you're not at this stage in life, if you don't know what you want to do and you don't feel fulfilled, you almost want to just get a job because you just want to be able to take that pressure away, so you have something to tell people about what it is you're doing, even though you know it's not something you want to do long term. So for me, I started working in a building site initially, and I was just working with local builders, and it was great to have a job and to have some money and to remove that pressure, but I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do long term. And then beyond that as well, I worked for a housing association, and that was my first real 9 to 5 job, more corporate role. And I was in an office Monday to Friday, and I would do bathroom surveys, and what that meant was that I'd go into people's bathrooms, people's houses, all the way across Shropshire where I was growing up, and I'd be going to their bathrooms, measuring up their bathrooms, telling them whether they need a new bathroom or not. And it was something that was great for the time, got an income coming in, had money paying me, but it wasn't something that I wanted to do. Now, although I was getting that income, which is not bad for my age, I realised that it wasn't where I wanted to go long term. I was looking at people that were ahead of me in that role, and I was trying to picture myself in that role 10 years, 20 years time, and I knew it just wasn't where I wanted to be, wasn't where I was aspiring to be at all. And then going from Monday to Friday, I was always kind of waiting for the weekend, dreading it on a Sunday night, and then being excited when it was like Friday, and your mood would be dictated by what day of the week it was, which was the way I was living for a while, like a few years actually in that job that I was doing it. And I knew that I had to make a change because I wanted more from life. I wanted to be able to travel, but I knew that that wasn't going to give me the freedom. Although it gives you a salary at the end of every month, and you're guaranteed that money if you continue doing the work, you're not guaranteed any level of real time freedom. You can't choose when you work, and you've got no location freedom either because you can't work from wherever you want to be in the world. And that was something I was really going for. So I knew that I had to make a change, but it took me a long time before I started to make that change. Okay, then I had all these thoughts and feelings, and I knew that I needed to start taking action, which is the next part of my journey, which is what I call the trial and error phase, because I started just trying things out and taking those thoughts and feelings and putting them into action. Now, I didn't get very far with this trial and error phase because I was just trying different things out, but I'm still glad I took these actions. It might be the stage that you're at now when you've identified that you're not doing what it is you want to do long term, but you don't really know yet exactly what is going to be that vehicle to get into your dream life or the goals that you've got. So what I did in this phase was like trying out different business models, and because I knew that I wanted to get location, time, financial freedom, I kind of landed on the business model of doing online business definitely for location freedom, and then I was searching around, seeing different options out there, like Amazon FBA, like affiliate marketing, like drop shipping, and I was looking around at all the different business models that are available and trying to work out what was going to best suit the goals that I had. And I decided on drop shipping, but I never really went all in. I was just kind of dabbling. I watched a YouTube video, set up a Facebook ad campaign, set up a quick Shopify store, and try these things. I ended up losing quite a lot of money in the process because I built a Shopify store around a product that I thought was going to sell, like elasticated shoelaces, or a Bluetooth gaming controller, or a dog bed. Build a store around it, start running Facebook ads, not knowing what I was doing at all. So this is the gamepad that I initially tried to sell when I first came across dropshipping. I went online and I was searching for products to sell and looking for trending products. And I went onto AliExpress, and one of the first few products I checked out was this one. I'd basically be spending money without getting enough sales back to justify it. But what I did see was the fact that I could make sales, the fact that I could make money online. And I started to read books like The 4 Hour Workweek, and I started to watch YouTube videos and see that there was a different life compared to the 9 to 5 that I was working at the time. So there's a lot of heartache, there's a lot of moments where I just had my head in my hands feeling like I was doing it all wrong and I couldn't do online business. But it all led me to realising that there was going to be a process involved. I had a long way to go, but I was proud of the fact that I was taking some action, even though it wasn't really going to lead to success with the way that I was doing it. But I learnt a lot. I learnt that if I was going to do something properly, I needed to give it my all. And when you just trial things out, you end up not getting very far with anything that you do, because you're just dabbling, you're just trying to see if it works. The next trial and error that really paid off was that I started to take dropshipping more seriously. I knew it was going to get me to my goals eventually if I tried and really put my mind to it. And really the 9 to 5 work that I was doing at the time just got to a point where I was really dreading doing it longer term. And I also had a period of doing a little bit of traveling at the time where I took a sabbatical away from my job as well. And by going traveling and realizing that the traveling had an end date when I went to New Zealand, it made it clear in my mind as well that I wanted to get a job, or I wanted to get a business going that would pay me even though I was somewhere else in the world. So all these things were starting to come together to make me realize that I had to do something long term, consistent, that was going to bring in money wherever I was in the world. Okay, then the breakthrough finally came when I stuck to one business model. And the reason I stuck to one business model was because I just decided that it had to work. And I invested in a program, I followed it step by step. And because I'd invested, I just realized that there was no other way other than succeeding. So every single day I took at least one action towards building an e-commerce business. So for me, that meant uploading products to a Shopify store, building a Shopify website, meant signing suppliers, building a marketing campaign, learning all these things from complete scratch, from a complete beginner, doing work at a building site and a housing association, to being able to build marketing campaign, build websites to generate sales. And over the first 2 or 3 months, I was just putting work in solidly every single day, until a point where I could finally see the fruits of my labour coming back to me, and I could see some sales coming in and net profit being left in the business every single month. And I remember the excitement and realisation when I was starting to make money from this online business that wasn't reliant on me, and money that could come in no matter where I was in the world, no matter how I spent my time. And the key lessons that I learned was that it was consistency, even when I didn't see results straight away. It was being completely focused on one thing and giving myself time to every single day to go all in on the most important task every single day. And beyond that as well, it was like having a really clear reason why I was doing that, and a clear goal of success, or clear idea of where I was going, so I knew exactly what I was working towards. And with that, I was able to build a successful online business. And then with a successful online business, you suddenly get that location freedom, being able to run that from wherever you want to be in the world. So now we're here in Madeira watching this amazing sunset alongside this cliff in Ponta do Sol. And the reason we're able to live here and be here, and we've been traveling around here for the last 3 months, is because the business makes money without needing to do it every single day. And that's taken me up to pretty much where I am today, but that's just my journey so far. I'm by no means a finished article, and my journey is going to continue well beyond this point. But I've seen the first level of success, I've learned some lessons, I've got some experience, and I can help other people to go from that position I used to be in. And I can see people that are feeling lost, people that are trying to do things but can't stay focused, can't stay consistent with it. And I feel like I can help those people to get from that step to the first initial success and having an online business, starting to feel more freedom where you can make choices over how you spend your time and where you spend your time as well. So now I'm building communities, I'm coaching people, I'm still building my e-commerce businesses, and I'm going to do that while traveling around the world. And I want to motivate people. If you feel today like you're lost, it's fine. It's fine to not know what you're going to do. What it's not fine to do is not be taking action, even if it's imperfect action, just any sort of action to get to where you want to be and to find out what it is you want to do. So it's okay to feel lost. It's not okay to not be taking action every day to get unlost. And the best way to do that, I think, is often getting around other people that you feel motivated by, or other people on the same journey as you. It's so important to have an environment around you that supports you. So you can check out my community, but there's so many communities out there right now that the best way to do it and to find what it is you want to do is to get around other people that you feel inspired by and other people on the same journey. So I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about my story so far. If you resonated, let me know in the comments. And the key thing for me to say is right now you just need to start taking action. Even if it's imperfect, start taking action today. With that said, I'll see you in the next video.